All right, and welcome back to another episode of Who's Lifting Today. This episode is going to be about if you only have 30 minutes to train, what should you be doing? What are exercises that you can do to have still like an effective workout, but doesn't take too much time, but still helps you become like a strong, badass lifter? First thing I want to talk about is we actually have a new podcast Instagram page called the Who's Lifting Today podcast. So if you have ideas about podcasts, about like certain episodes, or you want to give critiques or maybe ideas or guests that I should reach out to, I recommend you following that page and letting me know. Like, let me know your thoughts. Let me know what we should do in the future. Like, this is kind of a place where you can, share critiques, see podcast clips, and kind of be more informed on like what the podcast is doing in the future. And with that, I want to make some disclaimers about this workout plan that we're making. It's going to be full body. It's going to be minimal equipment. Basically, if you have dumbbells and maybe bands, that's probably all you're going to need for this. But it is full body. So if you have a specific goal in mind, like you want to get your first pull-up, this is not going to be focused on any particular goal, but just full body strength in general and kind of like focusing on movements that help you become stronger in the long run. It's going to be 5 exercises, not including warm-ups. I did this exercise routine to make sure that it really was under 30 minutes. And with that, I'm going to go over them right now. So warm-ups, there's going to be 2 warm-up exercises. So no matter how short your workout is, you still want to warm up at least a little bit. You want to warm up just a little bit just to get ready for strength training. The first thing you're going to want to do is something called a yoga plex. And by the way, if you're listening to this, I recommend taking notes if you're going to actually do the workout, or you can listen to it in real time and use it to keep track as an example. But you're going to want to take notes, keep track, because there's going to be a lot of numbers thrown at you and a lot of different exercises that maybe you haven't done before. These are exercises I've done with a lot of the women that I work with, and I recommend doing them because they are super beneficial for a lot of people. So the first thing is for the warm-up. Yoga plex, you're going to want to do 1 to 2 sets of 8 on each side. I recommend looking up all of these exercises so you can see them for yourself. I'll probably like put out a visual later on my like Instagram pages and stuff like that. 1 to 2 sets of 8 on each side. The next thing you're going to do for your second warm-up exercise is band pull-aparts. So if you have a red band, it's probably going to be like the longer ones, not the like thinner ones that are sometimes called booty bands. That's not what we're focusing on. It's going to be like a longer, thinner pull-up resistance band. And this is going to be the only exercise. Oh, no, that's not true. There's one other exercise that you're going to need a band for. So keep that in mind. But you want to do 1 to 2 sets of 10 reps for that. And that's going to be your warm-up. The warm-up itself shouldn't take too long. At max, it's going to be 4 sets. Maybe it'll be 2 sets. And you're going to, we're going to ease into that. That's probably going to only take like 2 or 3 minutes because we're just trying to get you warm up for the exercise in particular. The second thing is we're going to get into the main exercises now. So there's 5 exercises, and it's going to be 3 sets of 8 for the first exercise. So the first one is a goblet squat, which is where you hold the dumbbell to your chest. Again, I recommend you like looking up all of these exercises. Get yourself a visual, but you want to do 3 sets of 8. This is a really good squat exercise, especially if you're a new lifter and you're trying to really focus on like, getting that squat pattern correctly. And if you haven't really squatted before, goblet squats are like a good way to learn. The second one is the dumbbell Romanian deadlift. This is again going to be 3 sets of 8. We're going to do 3 sets for a lot of things for this because it's not so many sets that it takes a long period of time. But it is enough sets that you're still getting the benefits of becoming stronger. So dumbbell Romanian deadlift, 3 sets of 8 as an example. The next exercise, we're going to focus more on upper body workouts now, as opposed to lower body, is going to be floor press, 3 sets of 8. So that's where you're going to lie on your back and you're going to push the dumbbell to the sky. You're going to, it's like a chest exercise, essentially, upper body focused. And then you're going to do a dumbbell row after that, also for 3 sets of 8. A question you might have here is like, do I have to do all of one exercise and then do the rest of the exercises? For that answer is that like you need to monitor your energy levels as an example, but You can combine them if you want. I wouldn't combine more than like 3 at a time. Like don't do one set of squats, one set of Romanian deadlifts, one set of floor press, one set of dumbbell row, one after the other. You want to make sure that you like actually give yourself time to rest. And I'm going to recommend like 60-second rests in between each set. I think you just keep it simple and just do one set of goblet squats, 60-second rest, 2 sets of goblet squats, 60-second rest, third set, and then move on to the next exercise. So far we have 4 exercises, all 3 sets of 8, goblet squat, dumbbell Romanian deadlift, floor press, and dumbbell row. And you're going to want to choose weights that, let's say, are like an 8 out of 10 difficulty as an example. Though that's what I would personally like. You want to make it so it's like challenging, but not so challenging that you don't think you can do it as an example. The next thing you're going to do is the farmer's carry, and that's going to be 2 to 3 sets of 20 steps. Now, if you don't know what a farmer's carry is, you're going to be you're basically walking with the weights, and it might seem silly if you haven't done it before. Really good for grip strength and just overall strength in general. And it's really just like a full body exercise, and especially on grip, that I recommend using. A lot of women become stronger doing this exercise. It's really valuable. Not as flashy as some of the other exercises, but like it's still worth your time. And then if you have time, I've put like a bonus 6th exercise. And I want to keep in mind that like how long you have for this exercise. Like how long? Yeah, you might be at the 30-minute mark at this point. You might not be, depending on how many sets you've done and how long you've been waiting. But for the 6th exercise, there's something called a Pallof press. And the Pallof press, super underrated core exercise. It seems silly watching it. It doesn't sound like you're doing, or it doesn't look like you're doing a lot, but I promise it is worth your time. And if you're doing it right, it's really beneficial for overall core strength that is going to help you in the other lifts. So to recap, we have 2 warm-up exercises. Yoga Plex, 1 to 2 sets of 8 per side. We have band pull-aparts, which we're going to do 1 to 2 sets of 10 reps. And then the 5 exercises you're going to be doing are goblet squat, dumbbell Romanian deadlift, floor press, dumbbell row, farmer's carry. And then for the bonus exercise, if you have time, is the Pallof press, 2 to 3 sets of 10. I've done these exercises with a lot of women that I've worked with. It definitely has benefited them. We've seen really good results from it. So I encourage you to check this out. And also, so hope this was helpful. Again, this is supposed to be like a very efficient type of workout. It's not supposed to be overly, doesn't supposed to take a lot of time. Should take like under 30 minutes, assuming that you're sticking to like the rest periods about. For the rest periods, you don't need to do exactly 60 seconds, but we're just kind of aiming for like a ballpark, and you should go back into another set when you feel ready. Let me know your thoughts, and also let me know, like, this is a new type of podcast episode that we're trying out. Let me know on the podcast page at Who's Lifting Today Podcast if you like this kind of episode, or if you would like to do kind of like more of the instructional things that we've done in the past, as opposed to going through different workouts. But yeah, thanks for listening to another episode of Who's Lifting Today.